For large-scale operations, this can easily total in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. New lighting, HVAC, dehumidifiers, heat curtains, controllers not only can cost a fortune, but are expensive to operate. This is just the unfortunate reality of running a grow facility, but not anymore. If you've heard of a company called Green Rebates, then you already know what I'm talking about. Green Rebates changed the entire indoor cultivation industry seemingly overnight. They are the leading rebate and incentive management company in the US, and their sole purpose is to get you paid for the purchase of new grow equipment. Not a loan, real cash paid to growers. To date, Green Rebates has put more than $75 million back in the pockets of growers all across the nation. It doesn't matter if you've just purchased new equipment, are planning an expansion, opening a new facility, or maybe even just waiting for the economy to turn around before making any purchasing decisions. If you're a grower, you need to call the team at Green Rebates. They run an in-depth review of your facility to find all applicable equipment and energy rebates, and can connect you with every leading product manufacturer to find the right fit for your needs. Then they show up with a check. It won't cost you anything to find out how much money is being left on the table. Money that you can use to grow your business. Call Green Rebates, tell them you heard about them on the Cannabis and Tech Today podcast, and get ready to get paid.
Welcome to another episode of Cannabis Tech Talks, presented by Green Rebates at MJ BizCon. And I am sitting here with Josh from Raw, the cover star of the current Cannabis and Tech Today. So stoked to sit down with you. I have followed your work for a very long time. My first time meeting you in person. How is the show going for you?
It's a whirlwind, man. Like there's one meeting after another, there's another podcast right around here, hanging out in Jack Harrod's bus. I'm having so much fun. Just spent time with Gary Payton. It's been just phenomenal. I love this show every year. I'm so excited for it.
I think one of the things that everybody knows about you who follows you is that you seem to just bring that sense of joy and fun to everything you do, and it's a big part of your ethos. But also, you just told me that you have a 100,000 square foot warehouse, so your work ethic, it's the two combined that have gotten you where you are.
That's only one of them.
Obviously.
That's the one here in Phoenix, yeah.
Wow. So you built your empire starting in 2005 is when you launched your... No. Okay, take me back.
1993, I opened my first shop in Gainesville, Florida. A little 450 square foot shop, I think. Maybe it was 600 square feet. Paid a couple $100 a month in rent. Run down piece of poop. I loved that shop. That's where it all began for me. It was one little head shop all the way back then. Raw was really fully launched in 2005. But I did many papers before then, like Elements and Juicy J's and Zen and many other really good papers. It's been an ongoing journey. I love rolling papers. I've loved them since I was 5 years old. I don't know if you know that story.
Tell us the story. It's such a good story.
My dad used to do magic tricks with his rolling paper when I was a kid growing up. And I remember him just lighting it on fire and throwing it in the air, and it would just vanish. It would disappear. And so I loved paper. They were magic, So I began collecting them. And by the time I opened that first shop, I think I had a couple thousand in my collection. I knew so much about all the different booklets and where they came from and all this information. So although I was a head shop selling like pipes and all that kind of cool stuff, my real passion was in papers.
What are some of the obstacles that you faced in that world of papers?
Well, not just the world of papers, the world of smoking. I think every businessman coming up is going to face a whole bunch of obstacles. That's just the way it is. The difficulty with our industry is that, well, like in 1996, the feds kicked my door in because my store sold a bong to the daughter of the United States Customs Service Special Agent in charge for the Northern District of Florida, or so I was told. And that sucked. Helmets, boots on the back, machine gun to the head, all that kind of stuff. That really sucked.
Yeah.
And that was the end of my shop life, really. So that's just one obstacle. But the thing, when that happened, I thought it was the end of my life, and actually, it was just a new beginning. I didn't understand it. When you have a felony on your record, you learn real fast. No one's going to hire you. Nobody. Think about how funny that is. I'm unhireable because I have a felony from 1996, right? They wouldn't give me a job at McDonald's, yet it's me.
Right.
So that just tells you how stupid some of this stuff is. It really is. It's silly. So that helped propel me into the rolling paper industry, essentially. I had no choice but to go forward. They told me that all my papers were legal, and I love papers. So I pushed forward into the paper business, starting back then.
I think one of the things that so many people know about you is your iconic branding. And I would love you to talk about that specific sort of piece of your business and how your aesthetic plays a role, not only in your personal style in your life, but in the brand itself and the company.
Okay, so I don't have enough time to tell you the whole backstory of Raw. I wish I did.
We only have 15 minutes, folks.
So it's it really comes down to a passion for what I do, and hopefully you have a passion for what you do. If you truly love it, like if you love what you do, if you wake up on Saturday morning and you're bummed because your office is closed and you can't go to work and do your thing, and on Sunday it's even worse. If you feel that way, well, then I gotta tell you, you have a burning passion for what you do. My friend in Spain makes olive oil. He believes, and I believe, it's the best olive oil in the world. He loves his olive oil, his olive trees. He dances between them in the spring when the wind blows and the pollen comes off them and he smells it and he starts twirling around dancing. He's so excited. Well, that kind of passion, that kind of joy for what you do is what I have, and some people are lucky enough to have as well. When you have that, I think it's important to share it with the world. So when you see these crazy videos of me doing this, that, whatever, I love this. When I'm making a video, I'm having so much freaking fun. I get high from it. I'll redo the video over and over. Even if it's done, I sometimes just want to do it again because I'm having fun doing it. You know what I mean? Let me do that again. Oh, wait, let's do it again. Oh, God, Jose is over there. Jose knows. We'll shoot it again, even though we finished it. But that's because that was so much fun. We got to do it again. So when you're doing that, when you're having that level of joy with what you do, well, man, you really got to share that with the world, and you want to let it go through. Branding, yes, of course, branding is so important. Branding should be just one piece of what it is. So what I mean by that is, like, I have my own personal brand. Yeah, Josh, got it. But like the actual rolling papers themselves, my goal is to make the best rolling paper that's ever been made in the history of smoke kind, right? That's the overarching goal. How do you get there? By constant improvement, constantly changing. But then I also have this ethos of live life like a rolling paper. And what I mean by that is, a rolling paper has one simple, beautiful job. It's supposed to release its energy, which is unlike any other paper, including the paper this is printed on, right? Rolling paper is different. Rolling paper releases energy. You burn it, it releases energy into your material, and that material releases its energy into you. So if you look at it like that, if you look at your rolling paper like that, well, that changes the way you look at it. It also changes the way that you might think about it. So my goal in life is to kind of live life like a rolling paper, which means I don't want to share people the bad news. I don't want to tell people about my problems, about my pains, about my suffering, because a rolling paper wouldn't do that. It just wants to uplift you. That's all it wants to do. So I try to do that. And whenever I'm having a bad day, which of course I have awful days sometimes, terrible ones, I just remind myself about, man, just try to live more like a rolling paper. And then I think about my grandmother, who would say to me, and I know I'm going over time, sorry, she would always say to me over and over again, Josh, when you laugh, the whole world laughs with you. When you frown alone, Josh. So when I'm on social media, when I'm sharing with people, when I'm communicating with people, I want to show them just the positive side. I want to make them happy. And also, I've learned really quickly, if I make people happy, they make me happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's contagious. I love it. So these are just kind of like the way I've kind of learned to stumble through life.
Can you leave us with some words for any of the young entrepreneurs who are listening to this about this sort of zooming out from the local to the national to the global, especially because you're a player on the global stage?
Right.
And I know that they would love to hear about, what is next for them as they scale, no matter where they're coming from.
Okay. I was talking to someone about this just the other day when I gave that keynote speech. It's, if you have a business idea, whatever it is, make sure it works on a small scale. That's the most important thing. Don't say, oh, I'm going to build it and then it's going to work. No. My advice is make it, let's say you invent some really cool widget. I don't know what it does. Let's just come up with something. It actually filters smoke around you so that you don't end up, so that people don't even see the puff of smoke go away. And it just stands there and it sucks it in and blows it out. Let's say we make this, all right? We call it widget number 1. When you make that, make some of them, sell some of them, make sure they work, make sure people are happy of it, then build it up a little more. And then build it up a little more. And each step you're learning, you're iterating. That's what we do with our products. Like this is like an iteration 1 of the rosin pen, right? This is iteration 1. There'll be an iteration 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. And we don't make that many of these because I know that something's wrong with it, but I need to consume it with people and get their feedback to what's wrong, how can I make it better? And then I scale it up and up and up. Too many people I see are looking at like, they see me up here at the top of the fucking ladder and they're like, how do I get there? Like, well, no, dude. It's one step up that ladder at a time. Take that first step, that first little step. Make your project, whatever you're doing, work on a small scale. Now you know it's going to work. If it works on a small scale, it's very likely going to work on a big scale, you know? Mm-hmm. So the other day, it was a girl product called the Hempress, where she was trying to make a clothing line and jewelry, and she came to me for advice. And she wanted to, how do I get this in all the stores? I'm like, what are you talking about? No. Go to small events and sell your wares. See if people like it. See which ones they like the most. Become successful in that small venue, and then go to a couple venues. Now you got a whole bunch of venues. Now you can go to the shops. They probably already know who you are. And you can also tell them about your past success. Just build it up. I was raised by my grandparents more than my parents, really. And so I have this old school mentality that I was taught by Grandpa, his name is Poppy, about how to do it. And his method was always old school. It was always, I don't have investors. I don't have banks, really. I got none of that kind of stuff. It's just because the way I was taught is, you build up your business, you make profit, you reinvest the profit, and you build it bigger, you reinvest that, and build it bigger, and bigger, and bigger, and bigger, and bigger. It's just normal, organic growth. So I feel like in today's society, we see people with this instant success, like, and we're seduced by that. We think that that's possible. We think that should be the way. But my grandfather would severely disagree with it. He would say instead, the way is for you to make a success at the small way and build it up from there to a bigger way. Just like the way we've always done it as humans, you know?
Yeah. Are there more rungs on the ladder? What's next for you?
What's that? Oh, like for example, there's this. Okay. What we're trying to do now is we are trying to, I don't want to be that person. The person who's like, we launch our own line of raw cannabis and we're going to take over the world. That's not us. That's not what we're like. What we want to do is find our place in this industry where we can convince people to do things our way. Like in this case would be to use our pen, fill it using a method that we prefer that they use, make sure that everything is spec'd the way we want it to be, so that the consumer gets an amazing product. But yet, this isn't really a raw product. We're just really the vape. But we'll work with many other brands to try to help them make a better product for the consumer. So it'll be rosin on there, but also the real brand will be whoever's brand it is. In this case here in Nevada, it's the Grove. It's the Grove's cannabis, it's the Grove's product really, but we supply the vape. Just like with rolling papers, we supply the cone, the tip, the lighter, all the other stuff, but we don't supply the actual material. And we want to do that even better. I want to find people that are willing to work with us and make legal cannabis joints our way, which is to use this great grinders that we have. We made a grinder that I believe is the best in the world. I made a filling device, and I really love my filling device. I think it's the best one there is. We make cones and tips and all this stuff. We really love our stuff. So we want someone to kind of take that all together, put in their material that we spec to be the best they possibly can give us, and the consumer in the end gets an amazing joint. And as long as that person does everything right, the consumer will then get a consistent experience no matter where they go in the world. And it won't be really our brand. It's really someone else's brand.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's completely making sense, but what I've learned is if you build a mountain where you're on top and everyone else is below you, well, that's really easy to fall off a mountain. You can get really hurt if you fall down a mountain.
Right.
If instead you build a hill where you bring a whole bunch of people with you, you make them incredibly successful, well, now you're on a hill. No one really falls down a hill.
Right.
You might roll down a little bit, you get up and walk back up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we like to do business. We really like having strong people working with us, and we like making other people very successful. We've learned that if we do that, they always make us successful too.
Sounds like consistency and community are the
very important. Very important.
With your creativity, consistency, community.
Finding good people.
Yeah.
Oh my God, finding good people to work with is so key.
Yeah.
It's so key. Well, we try to stay away from chads. We are like chat-ophobic. You know, we really have that phobia.
Yeah.
It's like they don't provide us any value. I don't need their money, and I don't want to help. I don't want to make them money. No. We need people that actually love the plant, like love it, like where they're going to sleep at night and they're dreaming of it. They're thinking of new ways to grow, new media to use, different things like that. Those are the people that we need. I need lots more of those kind of guys, you know?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear you talk about all of this. Where are you going next? What's next for you?
Oh, I live on a little ranch in Arizona with a horse and a donkey, and I got to get back to them tonight because I miss them so much.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Yeah. They're rescues, and he's so cute. Completely off topic. I've taught my horse to kiss. So I call him my kissy boy. I don't care how ridiculous that sounds. He's this former tough, masculine rodeo horse, you know. And I taught him to be my kissy guy. So he'll come there and all he wants to do is kiss me. So I love that guy. And then I got my donkey. He's a rescue. He was born free, and they round him up. And so we rescued him, and he's an amazing dude. And all he wants to do is hug. So you can imagine why I want to go home. I go home to hugs and kisses, literally.
Yeah, horse kisses and donkey hugs.
That's all I got waiting for me when I get off the plane.
Amazing.
I rush home run into the stables. Like, oh, my guys, come here. Yeah.
Well, it's so great to talk with you. Thank
Nice
you so
talking to
much.
you too.
Please check out the issue of Cannabis and Tech Today with Josh on the cover. It's a fantastic article.
Yeah, if you want to work with me, hit me up. I need partners. I need help.
How can I hit you up?
Oh, social media is the best way. Rock and roll, RAWKANDROL. Or you can always call us. Old school.
What?
I got a cool
Like
number.
on the
Want to know what my
phone?
number is?
Yeah.
800-420-HERB. That's right, 800-420-4372. I'm so old school that I was able to get a number like that back in the 90s. I'm never letting it go.
Amazing. You heard it here first. Or maybe no, but you're hearing it here. Thank you so much. This has been another episode of Cannabis Tech Talks here at MJ BizCon, presented by Green Rebates, and we'll see you next time.
Since 2008, Proteus 420 has empowered cannabis businesses with their all-in-one ERP solution. From point of sale and inventory management to compliance and payment processing. Track sales, build customer loyalty, and stay ahead with tools designed to help your cannabis business thrive. Proteus 420, your trusted partner in cannabis business success.